and they gather the requirements. Okay, so if you remember that RAD model, in the RAD model, what we discussed is about a workshop. In the first phase, requirement planning phase, that workshop is known as joint application design. Okay, so on the day I told you, like when we are talking about workshop, I told you that we will be discussing about this workshop little more detail in further sessions, correct? So that workshop, the other name for the workshop is joint application design or focus group. We can also say focus group. Okay, let's see. Joint application design is a process used in prototyping life cycle area of the dynamic systems development method to collect business requirements while developing new information systems for a company. Yeah, as I told you here, the joint application design is conducted for requirement gathering. It's a workshop, okay? For prototyping life cycle, I mean, what they mean to say is for new projects. Okay, for new projects only we will go with this JAD session. The JAD process also includes approaches for enhancing user participation, expediting development, and improving the quality of specifications. Yes. So with this JAD session, you will get the right requirements. Okay, the user participation, at the same time you will get the right requirements. Why? Because different knowledge people and technical people, when they come together, what happens? So among them, they will discuss and they will bring a right requirement at the end of the day. Okay, it consists of workshop where knowledge workers and IT specialists. Knowledge workers means SMEs, stakeholders from the client side, from whom you gather the requirements, from whom you get the requirements, and IT specialists are none other than technical people. Okay, software people. Sometimes for several days, as I told you, it goes for 7 to 10 days, minimum 5, maximum 10 days. Okay, to define and review the business requirements of the system, for the system. That's it. So the attendees include high-level management officials who will ensure the product provides the needed reports and information at the end. This acts as a management process which allows corporate information services departments to work more effectively with users in a shorter time frame. Yeah, what is an advantage of this JAD session? I mean, why we have to conduct this JAD session? If you want to gather requirements in less time, like RAD, Rapid Application Development Model, or Agile models, okay, when you want to gather requirements in very less time, within 10 days of time or 7 days of time, then you have to follow this workshop activity. It is known as joint application design. Okay, I'll tell you the main difference between workshop and joint application design. Okay, workshop can happen 1 day, 2 days, or 10 days, or 15 days also. Okay, so workshop is nothing but all people under one roof, they discuss about some particular subject, and they will, at the end of the day, they will try to get some result. So that can happen 1 day or 2 days also. But when I say JAD session, joint application design or development, it is not like 1 or 2 days. Minimum it should be 5 days, maximum it should be 10 days. It should not cross 10 days. Got it? Suppose your session is going on, your meeting is going on more than 10 days, we don't call it as a JAD session. We have to call it as a workshop, that's it. Okay, you have to remember this. And less than 5 days is also not a JAD session, it is known as workshop. That is the main difference, okay? Next. Through JAD workshops, the knowledge workers and IT specialists are able to resolve any difficulties or differences between the two parties. Yes, the second advantage and the main advantage is duration. That I saving the time, at the same time, when all people get together, the misunderstandings will go. Okay, so face-to-face interaction, right? So they will get the right requirements. They will think about the right requirements. Okay, any difficulties they will resolve easily. Suppose the people are somewhere, some fellows are on the on-site, on the other location. Some people are other location. It's very difficult to communicate. So they have to communicate through video conference or audio conference or blah blah. Some people won't be available sometimes. Some people won't be available at the client side or at the development side. So again and again, that is nothing but interviewing process. Generally, we go with interview like one-on-one, okay, one to group like this. But here, BA is not gathering any requirements. Designers itself discuss with the client and understand about the requirements. BA will act as a mediator. BA will act as a event manager here. BA is going to conduct this event. Okay, so as a BA, you have to take care of all these things: location, place, timings, and everything. Okay, next. Okay, so JAD workshops and knowledge workers and IT specialists are able to resolve any difficulties or differences between the two parties regarding the new information system. The workshop follows a detailed agenda in order to guarantee that all uncertainties between parties are covered and to help prevent any miscommunications. That's it. Simple. Okay. Miscommunications can carry for far more serious repercussions. I mean, miscommunication, misunderstanding. So, I mean, it takes more time to discuss some subjects, like suppose they leave the top priority requirements and they will be discussing simply the less priority requirements. They will spending more time on the less priority requirements. Okay, so that is the reason we have to follow this JAD session. It's not addressed until later in the process. Okay, next, remaining thing we just read it. It's simple, you can easily understand. I'm telling you all the high level points, that's it. Coming to origin, history, joint application design is a term. Here they said joint application development. Okay, development is a term originally used to describe a software development process pioneered and successfully deployed during the mid-1970s by New York Telephone Company System Development Center under the direction of Dan Glenn. Okay, so this JAD session they were introduced by New York Telephone Company in 1970. It is not a new one. Okay, then following a series of remarkably successful implementations of this methodology, Glenn lectured extensively in various forms on the methodology, its benefits and best practices of IBM Canada, created and named JAD in 1974 Joint Application Design. Up to here it's enough. Okay, so who brought up this? I mean, who discovered this? Joint application development in 1970 by New York Telephone Company, but IBM worked on it for 4 years and brought a lot of changes, remarkable changes, and they changed the name as joint application design. Before it was development. Okay, and now it is used in software companies. This is the history of workshops or JAD sessions. Okay, and remaining things no need to read. No one will ask all the history of JAD session. Okay, that's more enough. And now coming into real picture. So who are the key participants? I mean, as a BA, you have to invite these people. Okay, you have to inform these people, you have to invite these people, you have to educate these people. Okay, let's see. Who are the key participants? Executive sponsor. The executive who charters the project, the system owner, they must be high enough in the organization to be able to make decisions and provide the necessary strategy, planning and direction. Okay. Sponsor to spend money on the project. Client side person. Okay. Next, subject matter expert. These are the business users, information system professionals, and the outside experts that will be needed for a successful workshop. This group is the backbone of the meeting. They will drive the changes. Subject matter experts are the people who understand the requirements, who understand the need of the end user. Okay, and prepare requirements for them. Okay, as a BA, you have to gather requirements from subject matter experts. Again, this fellow is also from client side. Then facilitator, session leader. Meeting and directs traffic, keeping the group on the meeting agenda. Manager, who manages the team, or a lead business analyst, or maybe you. Okay, who is going to take care of this session leader. Okay. Scribe, modeler, recorder, documentation expert. Records and publish the recordings of the meeting, does not contribute information to the meeting. See, scribe and modeler means a fresh, a new person. Okay. Recorder, documentation expert, who record the sessions, who record the meeting, who document the meeting. I mean, as a BA, you don't get time to sit and write each and every requirement. Okay, everything will be recorded, audio, video recording, or data will be entered. Okay, in Excel sheets. So this document is next. Next, observers. Generally, members of the application team assigned to the project, they are to sit behind the participants and are to silently observe the proceedings. Simple. Observers, new freshers, you can say, or client side people, whomever it is. It's a very, very important question in interview. They'll ask you about JAD session, key participants. So whatever I told you, just say as it is. I mean, first we talked about uh, what is JAD session, what happens in JAD session. I mean, it's a workshop activity, and then we talked about history, then key participants. 9 key steps. Identify project objectives and limitations. Yes, you have to identify project objectives and limitations. Let's say it is vital to have a clear objectives for the workshop and for the project as a whole. The pre-workshop activities, the planning and scoping, set the expectations of the workshop, sponsors and participants. Scoping identifies the business functions there are within the scope of the project, blah blah blah. Read it, it's simple. Okay. What they are saying is, first you should know what is the project, what is the purpose of the project, objectives of the project, and limitations of the project, and correct. Then only you can do something. Then you can start requirement gathering. That's what they are saying. Okay. And identify critical success factors. So risky factors. I mean timings, or I mean which requirement will take more time to discuss. Okay. So what are the pros and cons, advantages and disadvantages of the project, okay, of the workshop? You have to see all these things here, just read them. Define project deliverables, duration, define the schedule of workshop activities. So what happens inside a workshop? How many days? So each day what we discuss, day 1 what we discuss, day 2 what we discuss. Project business analyst should prepare an agenda. According to the agenda only we will follow, we have to follow. Okay? Because we don't know, right? We'll be wasting our time on some unnecessarily related, I mean unnecessarily requirements. Okay, at the end of the day what happens? The time won't be sufficient. Then you have to prolong it, then you have to extend it. Okay, so that doesn't mean a JAD session. That is not the right workshop. Okay, next. Select the participants. Okay, you have to select. How will you select? You have to know. You should know as a BA who are the key people from whom we will gather the requirements. Who are the key technical people? Who are excellent in, I mean, who are going to involve? Who should be involved in this meeting? Because these people will gather the requirements, and client side people also from whom you are gathering the requirements. Everything you should know. So you have to invite. You have to select the participants. Then prepare the workshop material. Obviously you have to do it. You have to do your homework. Prepare the workshop material. Organize workshop activities and exercises. You have to volunteer. You have to act like an event manager here. Okay. Prepare, inform, educate the workshop participants. Yes. Yesterday we talked in interview process, right? Before inviting people, you have to prepare yourself first. So what is the topic? What are the topics we have to do, and what we are discussing with? Okay, these all things you should know, and you have to inform people that these are the things we are going to discuss, so that people will come with the material, people will come with the proper subject. Okay, educate the workshop participants. If some people, I mean your technical side people, if they are not understanding the project, your job is to explain the project. Okay. Then coordinate workshop logistics. At last, workshops should be held off-site to avoid interruptions. Projectors, screens, personal computers, tables, markers, masking tape, post-it notes. What are all these things? It's logistics. So I mean, I don't mean to say that business analyst is the person who bring all the things to the for workshop. It's not like that. Business analysts have to make a list of all these things and send it to administration. Those people will take care of all these things. I mean, how many people are coming, how many computers are needed, how many laptops are needed, how much Wi-Fi connectivity is needed, how many projectors are needed. Okay, these all things will be mentioned in a list. According to the list, the administrators will look into that. Even booking a hotel or a resort or location, everything they will take care. So as a day, you have to mention all the things, whatever it is necessary for workshop, and you have to send it to project manager. Project manager will look into that, and project manager will approve it. Of course, right? The cost for the workshop should be approved. How many days? How much cost it is happening? These all things we'll see, and then we conduct the workshop. That's it. Because workshop we are conducting to reduce the time, to reduce the cost also. Correct? That's it. And advantages. JAD decreases time and costs associated with requirements, LCation process. LCation is nothing but gathering, okay? Requirement gathering. During 2 to 4 weeks, information not only is collected, but requirements agreed upon by various system users are identified. Experience with JAD allows companies to customize their system analysis process into even more dynamic ones, like double helix methodology or mission critical work. So we are nowhere concerned with double helix or blah blah. What they are saying is, it decreases time and cost, and during 2 to 4 weeks, information is not only is collected, but you will get the right requirements. I mean, what exactly the end users are looking for. Okay, you'll get experience with JAD allows companies to customize their system analysis process into more dynamic ones. Simple. Okay. Next, JAD sessions help bring experts together, giving them a chance to share their views. Of course, understand views of others. Yes, and develop the sense of project ownership. Yes. So this is what you have to use when you talk about JAD session. Okay, it gives the sense of project ownership. The methods of JAD implementation are well known, as it is the first accelerated design technique available on the market and probably best known and can easily be applied by any organization. Easy integration of case tools into JAD workshops improves session productivity and provides systems analysis with discussed and ready to use models. Blah 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 blah. Okay, that's it. Challenges. Let's see. Do your homework. Of course, as a BA, you have to do it, right? You have to prepare agenda. You have to prepare workshop material. A lot of things you have to do. Without multi-phased preparation for the JAD session, valuable time of professionals can be wasted easily. Yes, if you didn't prepare a right agenda. Okay, so unnecessarily the time will be wasted. The wrong problem can be addressed. The wrong people can be invited to participate. Inadequate resources or problem solving can be used. All these scenarios can happen if organizers of the JAD session do not study the elements of the system being evaluated. Okay. The team chosen to participate in JAD workshop include employees able to provide input on most, if not all, of the necessary parts of the problem. That is why particular attention should be paid during the participant selection. Yes, at the time of selection, selecting the candidates, right candidates. See, of course, once you get a project, you will come to know who are the right people, right? So, no need to bother about it. But you should know. That's it. Okay, that's it. And remaining things you just read. Last you can see here. The variety of thought process understanding will reflect different sometimes even conflicting points of view, but will allow participants to see a different side of the coin. Correct? With better understanding of the undercurrents of processes, JAD will bring to light a better model outcome. That's it. So simple. So they'll ask in interview, what is a JAD session? Just explain about it. The history also, it takes only half a minute of time to talk about. Introduced in so and so year and so company IBM brought it into IT market. Then about key participants, executive sponsor, subject matter expert, facilitator, session leader, and modeler, documentation expert, observers. Key steps. What happens? Okay, inside the session, and advantages and challenges. As a BA, what you have to face and what you did in your project. That's it. So, do you have any doubts, Clary, on this?
No, it makes sense.
Okay. Now I'm showing you rapid. Yeah.
So usually in a workplace, usually workshops, or is it the JAD, or it depends on the project?
Exactly. I mean, whatever the project is, you have to spend at least 10 days, maximum 10 days. That's it.
Right.
You
Okay,
should,
that's
you should
fine.
not do it for 20 days, 30 days, and don't call it as a JAD session. That's what I'm saying. Because many people they say it as JAD session, and of course, it goes for 12 days, 15 days also in reality, but we don't call it as a JAD session
Yeah.
because according to standards, we have to follow the standards. But it depends on the situation. It depends on the situation.
Right.
That's it.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. And this is about RAD model. As I told you, rapid application development. We already discussed about it. We have different stages here. You can see requirement planning phase, user
Yeah.
description phase, construction cutover. Just I want to show you that what is the relation between this RAD and JAD. So if you look into the origin, see, rapid application development is a term originally used for describing a software development process first developed and successfully deployed during mid 1970s by New York Telephone Company. Right? Same company, New York Telephone Company introduces JAD. So JAD is specially done made for RAD. Got it? So JAD is specially used made for rapid application development model. Okay, then IBM people worked on it and for a couple of years. You can see RAD involves iterative development and construction of prototypes in 1990. In his book RAD, Rapid Application Development, James Martin. Okay, that from that time, yeah, slowly, but it was introduced in 1970 only. Got it? And you can read the remaining things. They mentioned it was used in waterfall, it was used in some other in 1970s. It is something they mentioned. That's it. And you can see here, see agile. You can see joint application. Captures the voice of the customer by involving them in a design and development of the application through a series of collaboratively workshops called JAD sessions. The client may create an unrealistic product vision and request extensive gold plating, leading a team to over or under development functionality. Okay, right? That's it. This is all about that. And where are we yesterday? It's not this one. Yeah. So yesterday we talked about the questionnaire, and here comes the JAD. Okay. So joint application development. In order to use any unknown process, this JAD is used. Specific topic to get clarity. When. So when if anyone asks you when you have to conduct, when you conduct this JAD session means you have to answer this and who. Who are the people? Requirements team will consist of facilitators, SMEs if needed, key business stakeholders. SMEs are needed mandatory. Okay. And how it goes. As a lead BA, we prepare agenda, distributing the agenda to key stakeholders, requesting the stakeholders to come to meeting, identify the key stakeholders, arranging JAD sessions, discussions, objectives of business, understanding about the project, role and work of employees, introduction. Okay, make hard copy and distribute to everyone. Use chats, requisition and procedures should be strictly followed. I mean, as I told you, right, durations, timings should be strictly followed. Use case model. So this use case we will discuss later. I mean, when we talk about use case documents, we'll discuss about it. Coming to wireframe, you know wireframe, right? Wireframe is a skeleton structure wherein we can. It's
Yeah,
a
I've
yeah,
heard of wireframe.
it's a pencil diagram where we use Microsoft Visio tool to draw this. And we have two tools here, Microsoft Visio and Rational Rose. Either we can go with any of these tools. Microsoft Visio belongs to Microsoft. Rational Rose belongs to IBM. Both are same. I mean, designer tools only. It depends on the organization. I mean, most of the IBM related companies use Rational Rose. Remaining most of the companies use MS Visio. In the US, if you see, most of the organizations use Microsoft Visio. Okay. Next. A prototype is an early or sample. Sorry, a prototype is an early sample or model built to test a concept or process to act as a thing to be replicated to learning from. Yes, by looking into that, designers and developers or client, whomever it is, they will learn something because it's a physical drawing. A website wireframe, also known as a page schematic or blueprint, is a visual guide that represents the skeletal framework of website. The here website means we have to consider any application. This is a graphical user interface application that can be portal or anything. Okay. The wireframe depicts the page layout or arrangement of the website's content, including interface elements and navigational systems, and how they work together. The wireframe usually lacks typographic style, color, and graphics, since the main focus lies in functionality, behavior, and priority of the content. In other words, it focuses on what a screen does, not what it looks like. Okay, so wireframe no need to have colors and navigations and all these things. I mean, we cannot click on that and we cannot work on it. Correct? It's a pencil drawing. So, but it should give a live picture. Okay. Wireframes can be a pencil drawings or sketches on a whiteboard or produced by means of broad array of free or commercial software applications. Like we have so many number of designer tools, not only MSCG or rational tools. Some are free, some are costlier, some tools you have to pay. Got it? I will show you. I will show you the list of tools now. Wireframes focus on, let's see the points, the kinds of information displayed, yes, the range of functions available, the relative priorities of the information and functions, the rules of displaying certain kinds of information, the effect of different scenarios on the display. Correct? So kinds of information displayed. What are the symbols? What are the notations? What information? Range of functions available. Functionalities. What is a button? What is a text box? Okay. What is scroll down here and there? All these things. The relative priorities of the information and functions. Yes. If you click this, some page should open, right? Right. Okay. Relative priorities. The rules for displaying certain kinds of information. The effect of different scenarios on the display. Effects. That's it. So here is a wireframe. You can see. I mean, it's a CAD website. On the top you have CAD logo and all the different options you have. I will show you the real project of this. Okay, don't worry. And coming to brainstorming. Brainstorming, idea generation, idea reduction. Brainstorming means what? As a business analyst, you have to bring new ideas. Maybe that can be through from by your experience. Okay, that knowledge, that ideas that comes with your experience, or by your creativity, or how best you understand the project. Okay, and by doing some gap analysis. Correct, by doing some 3D method. So whatever it is, when you are looking into competitors, you will identify something. So like this, brainstorming is nothing but identifying, I mean bringing a new requirement to client. Okay, let's see. Idea number, idea name, idea description. When you mention the name, you have to describe it. When you say login page, you have to describe this login page. Allows a user to log in. It has login, username, password, and all these things. Okay, and idea considered. Okay, who will mention it's considered or not? Yes or no? Client will say. If client say yes, then that's a requirement. If client says no, then you have to reject it. That's it. Considered or not. That's what they are saying. Generation or reduction. And surveys. Of course, we talked about surveys. What BA do? The beginning, once the kickoff meeting is done, BA will do some surveys, right? Primary survey and secondary survey. So there's all these things, these all are useful for requirement gathering. Even wireframes also. So you may ask me how wireframes are useful for gathering. I mean, in what way means? Yes, if you design something, when you show it to client will get a new idea, correct? So they will get a new idea. For example, you are designing Google search page. You mentioned Google search bar, you design the page, and clients may get a new idea by looking into the page. They may get a thought that why don't we put some languages here, why don't we put some advertisements here, why don't we put Gmail and YouTube links here, like these new ideas. Okay, that is the reason wireframe is also one of the useful I mean, uh, area where we can bring some identify or get a new idea of new requirements. That's it. And coming to reverse engineering, you know reverse engineering means, right? So reverse engineering means any product you take, electronic or any product, once they design, they will dismantle everything from end to top again, from bottom to top. Okay, let's say you design a mobile phone, an iPhone 6 new model. Okay, iPhone 6. So what they will do, the first model, first they will correct everything and they will manufacture it. And once again they will dismantle everything and they will see so whether these implemented or not, these requirements are implemented on this or not. So rechecking from bottom to top, that is nothing but reverse engineering. Generally this reverse engineering job is mostly done in mechanical, electronics and all these things. Like when you design an aeroplane, okay, once again they will see from bottom to top that did you miss any screw, did you miss any button, even a small thing, even a small wire may lead to disaster, right? So like this you will see. Okay. So China people say China made, right? China made means what? If you give an iPhone as it is, they will prepare one more and give it to you. That means they will dismantle everything and from the top, from the bottom to top, they will make a note. Okay, these are the things we dismantle. Now bring such type of things and they will prepare a new one and they will send it to you. So this is how it works. So why we are talking about this reverse engineering means for requirements. As a BA, once you gather the requirements, once you document it, once the client validation is done, everything is done. I mean before validation or after the validation, client will do the reverse check, like from bottom to top. Not client, BA will do the reverse check of the document, whether all the requirements are there, whether the signature is there, whether the diagrams is there or not, all the blah 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 blah, right? This is known as valid or not, elucidation, gather requirements, completely documented and managed. That's it. If any changes, if any information you feel that you are missing, then immediately you can implement that here in this document. Correct? So that is why it is useful. We call it as reverse engineering. Okay. So we are done with all the interviewing, gathering techniques and methods, like we talked about Masco technique for prioritization, Jackman method for understanding the requirements, interviewing, that is live interview one-on-one, okay, questionnaires for when you interact with vice presidents or general managers when they don't want to interact with you live, okay, and then we talked about gap analysis, JAD sessions, okay, brainstorming and blah blah, all these things, okay. Now I will show you one of my real-time project, okay. I'm sorry, this is not the folder. So Clary, shall we continue this tomorrow, because it's a fresh topic. I don't want to put you at the end of the okay, because it's a
Yeah,
fresh
no,
one.
that's fine.
Because
Yeah.
I don't want to
So
yeah.
we can go through what we've discussed, and then by tomorrow we can go through a fresh one.
Yeah, that's what, because it's a fresh topic, it's a new topic, and this is one
Okay.
of my project.